Welcome to this guided meditation on a drinking ritual. My name is Fran, the founder of Cape Cacao, and I invite you to join me in a drinking ritual on ceremonial-grade cacao. Now, if you don't have any cacao with you or prepared yet, you can get a glass of water or alternatively make yourself a cup of tea. Set yourself up in a quiet space, put your devices away for now, light a candle, even a stick of incense, and settle down to enjoy being guided through this ritual experience as we set an intention into our cup before bringing that into the body. Whoa. So this part, we are going to work in a ritual way. This is going to be a meditation with our ritual drinks. And before we do anything else, if you haven't yet already, please join me in lighting a candle. This is just to call and acknowledge the light that is in ourselves, the light that is in the world, in every sentient being, in life itself. And this is how we activate the medicine of cacao. We activate the spirit, we call in the spirit, which is why working slowly and making the cacao in a very slow, mindful way, we start to bring in the heat slowly. And so we can have more time to acknowledge calling her in and activating the spirit in ourselves and in her. All right. So with that candle, you can place it in front of you. And we're just going to start with a bit of an open eye meditation before we bring the cacao energy in. So you can have a look at the flame in front of you. Otherwise, if you don't have one, it's okay. You can just look at my candle and just use the flame here. Just show you, there we go. And as we look at the flame, we can start to connect into the element of fire. You might see how the flame dances as it starts to wake up. And even if there is no breeze around you, there'll always be slight movement in that flame. So we just can acknowledge the constant movement of life, the constant change. So just taking another 2 breaths as you acknowledge the element of fire. If you have any incense around you or any other smokes you would like to burn, then you can do that now. If you haven't yet already, I'm just working with a smoke here to cleanse my hands. And even though they are clean already physically, I always just like to do an energetic cleanse before holding the cup and bringing the medicine in. So no matter what you're working with, even if it's just the air around you, you could just use your one hand to take it around the other hand. If you're working with a particular smoke, you can take it between the fingers. And then you can do both hands as well. And these small little rituals just help us to slow down, take our time, connect in with the space and what we're actually doing. They allow our minds to come to this moment here and now and be present. And before we work with the drink of cacao, we're going to connect into our air element of our breath. And so at this point, you're welcome to close your eyes. You're welcome to place the hands either on the chest, in a prayer position, on the belly, on the legs, just to have some gesture with the hands, because essentially the hands are an extension of the arms, which connect us into the center of the chest, which is where our spiritual heart resides. We activate when we drink the medicine of cacao in the metaphysical and spiritual spaces. So if the eyes are closed, and if the hands are together, You can just breathe into the space between the palms. If the eyes are open, if the hands are in a different position, just breathe into the spaces between the gaze, where the gaze lands and where the hands are situated. Just seeing your out breath as a way to relax the body and the mind. We're just going to take a few moments to stay focused on the out breath. And this is also a way that we can connect and say thank you to Mother Nature, because this is what we've been working with up until this point today. We've been working with cacao and so many other ingredients, which all come from the plants, which all come from Mother Nature. And so what I mean by the out breath being a way of saying thank you, very practically, when we breathe out, there is carbon dioxide in that out breath. And that is exactly what all the plants take during the day. That's what they take up. And they utilize that for photosynthesis. They need our out breath. And so every time we breathe out, we can think of that air going back to Mother Nature, saying thank you, blessing her, giving back to her. And so through that photosynthetic process, the plants can grow. And they give off, in turn, oxygen during the day. And this is what we need for us to survive. When we breathe in, it's that oxygen that comes into our blood and goes into all our cells. Or we could take this a little deeper and say it's not only the oxygen, but it's the life force energy, the prana, from nature. So just a few more of those breaths of reciprocity, giving back, saying thank you on the out breath. And then receiving into the space inside from nature on the in-breath. Today we are working with a very beautiful medicine of cacao coming from a tree called Theobroma cacao. And so we thank these trees, we thank the farmers that grow the trees, that have lovingly and sustainably harvested the pods of cacao, and all the hands that is it exchanged through until it meets us today. Just taking a final breath in thanks before opening up the eyes if they were closed. And then if you haven't yet poured your cacao, then please do so. And for those who would want a final little ritual of a cleanse, then I take the smoke that I'm working with, even if it's just incense, and I just turn the cup upside down to receive some of the smoke. And this is a lovely thing you can do with water as well. You could just heat your cup up with some water before, and then that water offering could be for your body or back to nature. You saw me do it earlier with my plant in the kitchen, just to offer the water to the plants. All right. So everything is lovely, beautifully cleansed. So I'm now going to pour my cacao ritual drink into my cup, and I'm going to sing at the same time. I invite you to either hum along with me or just to set an intention. We're then going to hold the cup together between our hands, and I'll guide us further from there. Cacaucito la medicina, cacaucito la di di di. Cacaucito la medicina, cacaucito la di di di. Cura, cura, que persito, cura, cura, la di di di. Limpia, limpia, espiritito, limpia, limpia, la di di di. Cacaucito la medicina. So holding the cup between the two hands, representing the left and the right coming together. Perhaps by now the eyes are closed. Perhaps you're already feeling the temperature of the cup, but start to connect into the position of where the cup is, sitting between the polarities of left and right, of the energy lines of feminine and masculine, holding the cup between the hands that are an extension of the heart. Trying to keep the eyes closed for the next part. Slowly bring the cup closer to the face so that you can smell the cacao, and just keep it close to the nose for a few smells. Allow the information of smell to come to you. And just observe between each smell. Try not to rush this process. Slow it down, seeing this as your meditation to receive so much through the other senses before taste. And then just pause with the eyes closed, holding your cup, feeling the temperature, smelling the medicine. And just start to open up that space of the spiritual heart, Anahata chakra. And this is the space that the cacao will start to activate. Already just by smelling her and having prepared her, she's already starting to work there. And when we drink her, she'll assist that to expand even more into our own qualities of love, kindness, connection, acceptance, forgiveness, compassion. Come back to an intention if you have one, or just one of these qualities that I just mentioned of the heart. And before we take a sip, we'll take another final breath into the heart to activate that intention or that quality we want to bring in today. Hold the breath for a moment. And then lightly blow the exhale of that into the cup. This is infusing that intention and that final ingredient into the medicine. If you feel you would like to do one more, then please do. I'm going to. Otherwise, take your first sip and just keep it in the mouth. Just really activating the intention, whether the cacao is in the mouth already or you're still blowing onto it. Cacacito, la medicina, cura cuerpecito, limpia espiritito. If you haven't yet, please take a sip, holding the cacao in your mouth and having a meditation on the taste. While I had to swallow just to speak, I encourage you to keep it in the mouth for a little bit. Perhaps slowly moving the tongue around in the mouth, and now starting to receive information from the sense of taste, from all the different taste buds in the mouth. When you're ready to swallow, do so mindfully and continue to trace the sensation down the throat, into the stomach. And just know that all the goodness goes into the bloodstream, is taken throughout the entire body. The cells know exactly what to take. The energy knows exactly what it needs to be unblocked, to be cleansed. And we start to connect to the spirit of the plant. We start to connect to our own spirit. We start to connect to the spirit in all things. And so we take our time with these sips, pausing between each one. And when you're feeling ready, you can do another slow sip like that, where we first smell the cacao. Remember to just take your time. When you do take it into your mouth, just pausing there, slowly moving her around before swallowing. And the real medicine here is the sacredness of the pause and of being still, of being quiet, of being with yourself, of being with whatever comes up for you. So while you have a few more sips like that, I'm just going to sing the invocation again. In English, it means, cacao, my medicine, heal my little body, and cleanse my little spirit. Cacaocito, la medicina. Cacaocito, la medicina. Cacaocito, la medicina. Cacaocito, la di di di. Cacaocito, la medicina. Cacaocito, la di di di. Cura, cura, cuerpecito. Cura, cura, la di di di. Limpia, limpia, espiritito. Limpia, limpia, la di di di. Just continuing to acknowledge how you're feeling. We notice this in many ways, in the physical body, in the emotions, in the thoughts, in the mental body, in the energy, in the spirit. So whether you still have some cacao left, or if you finished, just continue to stay in the space of being with yourself. If you still have some cacao in your cup, then you can just bring that in with you to your heart space. Otherwise, if you don't need the cup anymore, you can have the hands in prayer. Either way, we connect again the hands, the left and the right, bringing everything into union. And that word that we know in the world called yoga, you might not know that the source of the word, the root word yog, means union, it means connection. And so I just love all the connected parts of so many different traditions. And I, for one, definitely have taken on so much learning from multiple disciplines and multiple traditions. And I'm sure if you're sitting here today as well, it's not just cacao that you work with or have worked with in the past or are interested in. So I love working with Mama Cacao because she reminds me that I can be in my heart always. And I can be inclusive always. I can love always. That is a choice. I can be kind always. And that is how I can be with myself. I can be inclusive with myself. I can be loving and accepting and kind. And when I practice that for myself more and more, then I will naturally be interacting and behaving and responding to the world around me like that. The people, the animals, nature. So this really has changed my life, and it's a very big part of my life now. And I'm so happy to be able to say that I work with sacred chocolate every day. And if this is interesting to you, then you're welcome to find out more. We do offer trainings, which are starting soon. But if it's just the ritual spaces that you would like to pop into from time to time, and we have a ceremony coming up on the 17th, an online ceremony. And so you're welcome to join us for that as well. But in closing, let's just bring it back into the space again, just to come back to perhaps the reason why you came today. So whatever it is, allow the eyes to close if they're still open, holding the hands together and connecting into the heart. Allow those hands to continue to be the expression of the heart. So the next time you shake someone's hand or touch someone or hug someone, know that it's always from the heart that you can choose to live, to act, and to be. Allow a few more breaths as we connect back into gratitude for nature. She gives us the oxygen that we breathe in, that we need to survive. And in thanks, we give her the carbon dioxide that she needs, that the plants need when we breathe out. So there's always this cycle of giving and receiving. An equal energy exchange where we are part of this greater life. The medicine of cacao teaches us to remember what we already have inside. These are the qualities of our spiritual heart, the qualities of love and compassion, of kindness, of forgiveness, of acceptance. And all this deepens us into the joy of gratitude, the joy of living. And so we thank the spirit of cacao, Ish cacao, cacacito, mama cacao. May she continue to assist us along our journey in life to remember what we already are and remember what we already have. Cacacito la medicina, cura cuerpecito, limpia espiritito. And for the final few breaths sitting here together, I invite you to bring to mind another being, whether it's human or other, who you would like to share some of this love of your heart with. Perhaps it's somebody that's going through a particularly rough time at the moment, or just somebody you would like to extend some gratitude to, perhaps an animal, a place on the planet, perhaps a guardian angel. And just bring them in between your hands. Allow a mini version of that energy to sit lovingly between your palms. Allow your in-breaths to activate this medicine that you have in your heart of love and compassion. And just let your exhales blow over the hands. You can even bring the hands closer up to the face if you want. Your inhales activate the heart space, and your exhale gives out some of this heart space into that energy in your hands, giving back, spreading this love. And then alongside that energy of that other being in your hands, please bring a mini version of yourself there as well. So you're holding yourself and other between your palms. And you're going to do 3 more breaths like this, of love to yourself, of love to other, of connection. Of support. And of community. And may that go forwards with you into your life, into the seen and unseen spaces in which you take your energy. We'll take another deep breath in together and just hold it for a moment. Just seeing this as the final breath in, activating. And to close off our space together, breathing out. If you need one more breath like that, then please take it. Holding it for a moment. And then exhaling. If you feel it's helpful, just rubbing the hands together, creating a bit of heat. And what I like to do, just another little ritual. Sometimes if I've had my eyes closed for some time, I don't like to just open them into the bright light. I like to gently wake the eyes up again. So then I just keep the eyes closed, rub some heat into the hands, and then just place the hands, I cup them over the eyes, blink the eyes open into the hands, and then just glide the hands down. And that's a nice gentle transition. For those of you who like to just cleanse a final time, you'll just take the hands the other direction. So I'll take them up over the eyes, over the back of the head, back of the neck, and just flick it out.